It's named after a sun-loving fungus that lives in cow dung. The dance form of Pilobolus, which has been gathering momentum for more than 30 years, is a lot more exciting. But we'll let you judge for yourself.
From a crown to a bus to the Tower of Babel, the dance company Pilobolus's inventiveness was electrifying. A world-renowned dance company, they stumbled upon the idea of creating witty shadows only 10 months ago.
For the past 36 years, Pilobolus has earned the reputation as being one of America's finest dance companies. But it was at the Oscars this year when the imagination of 1 billion people was ignited. What is it about shadows that captures the imagination?
Shadows are kind of the mask that people wear, and you know that it represents a facet of nature, but not its whole. And so there's something elusive, I think, about a shadow. You know, the real work is hidden, and you're seeing a reflection of reality.
With over 3,000 requests to do work after the Oscars, a project in South Africa interested them enough to bring their company to our shores.
Let's start with middle stage, 1 person high, and see what we get.
They're here to create dance and shadow work for a series of commercials for the Bidvest Group. Brian Jaffe is Bidvest CEO.
This one will be different. It's not going to be the regular commercial, in that this is a people's commercial. We don't have any props. The props in the commercial are people.
Yes, that's it.
How do you go about creating the shapes?
Get behind a screen and you mess around. Yeah, it's very experimental. I mean, again, you really have to understand that this is not something that we know anything about. Somebody asked us to make shadows, so we're learning how to make shadows.
Matt Kent, the team leader, believes that anything is possible with the human body.
So we can see our own shadow against the screen. And what happens is you start to, I think of the game Tetris, you know, where you're flipping these shapes. It's like that. You develop a sense, and you're looking at a shadow, like a flower pot or an elephant, and you're thinking, okay, that's somebody's knee, and then that's the curve of their back, and then somebody's on top of me, and you know, you start to think in your head, how can we fit these bodies in to make this outline? And that you get better at that and better at that. And we all know what we're trying to do, so by inch and by ooch, we sort of form ourselves into these shapes.
I do think that it's, you know, the simplicity. I mean, who hasn't made a shadow? Who hasn't sat there, you know, and you know, on the wall? Everybody's done that.
Although shadow hand puppets may be seen as a fun game to play with children, its origins are ancient. Paper puppets can be traced back 2,000 years to China.
It's because it's so old and so very primal that it fires the imagination, and that people, no matter who you are or what your interest, will recognize the endeavor here. It's spectacular.
Ian Becker is the art director on the stilled shoot and calls Pilobolus human Lego or human clay. You can mold any shape you can imagine.
Can you make a crane? Yes, we think we can make a crane, but we'll see. We play. And then you discover that how this group works is they play, and you play with them in order to create things.
Tace Buerter is the advertising executive who contacted Pilobolus for the Bidvest campaign.
It has been absolutely extraordinary working with them. They have a creative genius which I have never experienced before in my life, and I doubt if I will ever have that again.
They are purists in their approach to their work. They want the lines that their bodies create to be unencumbered by clothes. But in creating these shapes, they come into very close proximity to one another. There's something both robust and graceful in the way Pilobolus moves. And according to Robbie, there is also something philosophical.
When we have a move, which is a group of people moving together, it becomes a metaphor for a kind of a social ideal, a physical manifestation of a social ideal, really. And I think some of the pleasure people take from watching our work is this knowledge that this is not just a group of performers interacting, well, it's not a group of performers engaged in only a personal search, but there's a psychological and a social interaction that is somehow idealistic. I think people like that.